Wike, how can one man's name be stamped on everything? We are becoming a Republic of Tinubu, Lamido, before Uncle. Very soon the country will be called Federal Republic of Tinubu, before we know it. According to a report by The Nation, Sule Lamido, a former governor of Jigawa State and presidential aspirant, warned that Nigeria's democratic foundations are under strain. At a political event in Abuja, he argued that the independence of key institutions is being steadily eroded. Lamido said the changes unfolding under President Bola Tinubu's leadership threatens the balance that underpins free governance in the country. In his remarks, Lamido pointed to 5 bodies that once acted as checks and balances. He listed the judiciary, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the executive branch, the legislature, and political parties. According to Lamido, each of these organs now faces pressure to align with the president's agenda rather than serve the public interest. Lamido criticized a trend he described as the personalization of national agencies. He noted that offices and programs that once bore neutral titles now carry the president's name or the names of his closest allies. This practice, he said, undermines the sense of collective ownership that is essential in a republic. He expressed concerns that elevating one individual in this way risks hollowing out institutional culture. Lamido argued that when state institutions serve as mere extensions of a leader's persona, their staff become reliant on patronage rather than merit. He warned that talent and professionalism would decline if careers hinge on loyalty rather than competence. Looking ahead, Lamido suggested the need to reforms to restore autonomy to these bodies. He urged party leaders, lawmakers, and civic groups to push for legislative safeguards that protect appointments and budgets from executive overreach. Restoring transparent procedures, he said, will help recover public trust and prevent further weakening of the system. Lamido concluded by calling on citizens to demand accountability. He insisted that a vibrant democracy requires institutions able to act independently of any single individual by reinforcing clear rules and resisting personalization. He said, Nigeria can reaffirm the principles of its Republican Constitution and safeguard its democratic future. Lamido said, how can one man's name be stamped on everything in Nigeria? Well, welcome to this new Nigeria. You are becoming a Republic of Tinubu when you play God and you have sycophants around you. You end up dancing naked. A bit more. It is well. But I know that it is what you want to say. It won't make sense, but let me read it. He said the only reason Wike is being criticized and despised majorly by the supporters of PO. How do you know that Lamido is supported by PO? Because if I know he's going to mention Peter Obi, this guy. How do you know that Lamido is a supporter of BO? It's because of his avowed support for PBAT. This same Wike was initially hailed and praised by the same people. Obi will never be president of Nigeria, and you know it. Even you that is reading these notes that Obi can never be president of Nigeria, but it's fine. You can keep lying to yourself that anything can happen and Obi will win in 2027. But we have heard you. You can go and sleep now. Olatubosun says, I laughed. Which citizens is Lamido referring to? Citizens that have been consistently weakened by poverty. Even during your tenure, and now you need to fight your enemies, and you are calling on citizens to demand accountability. Which citizens? No, be small. Ugochukwu says, does it really matter to the politicians? Buhari started the abuse of constitutional provisions. No one said it was wrong. It is turn by turn, and by the time it ends, it downs on people posturing now that they started a rot, believing that they were sacred cows that can do what they like. It is well. Celeste Mara says, of course, that's what people wanted initially by using Yakubu Mahmoud to rig him in. People can now see your folly, yes, so they can now see it. Chinedu says, you are right, sir. INEC Mahmoud and the political chimpanzees from the north use religious sentiments to rig election for Tinubu, yes. They were saying Muslim tickets. And they felt that their religion would be threatened, so they conspired and stole the victory of the only Christian in the midst of 3 heavyweight Muslims. And now they are hearing it. And now they are complaining. People wanted this. People wanted Muslim tickets. Sule Mohammed says, what about the Republic of Lamido in Jigawa State? You established a university and gave it your name. These people have short memories. Oh, really? So he gave a school in his this thing, Lamido. Imagine, they really have short memory. No be small thing. Kelly Odim says, you didn't come out and say this during Buhari. Anyways, it is better late than never. Mufa Poetry says, if they like, let them change Nigeria's name to Tinubu. You are going to shame them. Says, well, Igbenedene says, Igbenedene. What good comments do you expect from our local? You support everything the man does because you are our local. What will you say if an Igbo man becomes the president and reverses everything? They not call it continuity, but the thief Tinubu behaves as if. So I'm now the president of Nigeria. Do all you can do now. Note that we are waiting for you in 2027. The way they have named Nigeria after him, that is how they name corruptions after him. Don't worry, Chicago is waiting for him. It is well. Chinedu Ezebu says, selfishness is the problem of this country. Check out the name calling. Who is that? Is this unworkable system? My leaders were adamant to insisting for an outright change or true modification would not be called such names. Nigeria continues to chase shadows while others keep growing all around. It is well. Aisu Tajudin says, you are just ranting. You still need to wait till 6 years. Buhari finished his tenure without complaining despite his nepotism. Time for revenge. Oh, so you people are using the country to do revenge mission. Can you imagine? Time for revenge. What revenge? Abiola fought for democracy. It's time for people that fought that case to enjoy. Oh, time for revenge. Among the Omoke says, your ideas are beautiful, but they could have been more beautiful if you brought them when you were governor. Nigeria politicians would always turn around to condemn a system they benefited from once they leave the office. Those anomalies were there when you were governor, but you didn't talk. That's the problem. Camille says, Mr. Lamido, I love as you always acknowledge Tinubu for good governance, but saying it indirectly, thank you to tell others about the good work Tinubu administration is doing. APC all the way. Who is this one? I beg. Adalaki says, can we know how many public institutions named after him? And those friends and accolades honored with public institution, do they deserve it? Now, in Igbo, they talk, do they deserve it? Do they deserve it? Go. Grace Michael says, Nigeria, rise up and reject one-party system. We can never be slaves in our own nation. No man can enslave us. Rise up before it will be too late. The Glory says, you are aptly on point, sir. For example, they have built houses for judicial officers. They are now planning to build a new INEC edifice. Only God knows. Only God knows, though. It is only God that will help us. Over to you, my listeners. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.